What I would like to do here is do a close-up inspection of my 1977 Honda CB550 Super Sport. I'm sitting on my shop stool, so if you hear some noise as we move around, it's the wheels rolling across the floor. So let's start in the front. This bike has DID rims. They're perfect. No rust. Avon Road Rider tires with probably about 1,000 miles or less. Disc brake in the front, drum brake in the back. Aftermarket turn signals. When I bought this bike, it was painted kind of a stainless steel color, and since I'm very fond of red, I had it painted red. The tank was color sanded and buffed, and then I took it to Alan Budden, who did the pinstriping and the hand lettering. He also did all this by hand. The engine is oil tight. During winter storage, in the spring there's not a drop of oil on the floor. No leaks, no drips. The engine is totally clean. I've never cleaned it. It's perfectly oil tight. I've contemplated putting aftermarket headers on it, but I really like the look of these stock headers with the rainfall or the waterfall effect, and how they collect from 4 into 1. The reverse megaphone muffler is Losa Engineering of Southern California. It has a beautiful exhaust note, stainless steel. The previous owner, James Luce, hid the ignition under the side cover to deter thieves. James Luce was a Honda mechanic, a mechanical engineer, and he campaigned a race bike, a Honda race bike at PIR in Portland, and he had this bike for 10 years when I bought it from him. I got to know James previously when he sold a CB550F Super Sport, which I purchased from him. He had rebuilt the engine with a big bore kit, and I was so impressed with his craftsmanship that we worked together on the bike and restored it to better than new. The bike was just stunning. It was just beautiful. When I saw that James had this bike on Craigslist, I immediately called him and said, I'll take it, I'll buy it, because I knew that his craftsmanship was very high quality. I knew that I'd be buying a very high quality bike, and this bike has not disappointed. James told me that he owned this bike for 10 years, And over the span of 10 years, he said, I rebuilt that engine 3 times before I finally got it right. And boy, did he ever get it right. This bike runs beautifully. It runs like a Swiss watch, like a Singer sewing machine. It always starts and runs beautifully. Good stopping power, beautiful handling. It's always been my go-to bike. It's a really sweet ride. The side covers were also done by Alan Budden. Everything was hand lettered and pinstriped by Alan. We have a pigtail for the battery. I always keep the battery on a trickle charger over the winter time. The only issue that this bike has is that in the spring, when you take it out of winter storage and turn the gas on, the float sticks in this right-hand carburetor. But if you lightly tap it, the float frees up, and that solves the problem. If the bike sits for long periods of time, the float will stick, but day-to-day riding, it works just fine. That's the only issue that I have with this bike. So now we come around to the back. This is another Avon Roadrunner tire. Lots of tread. Probably about 1,000 miles on it. The seat I had reupholstered. I went down to Oregon Leather in Old Town Portland, picked out a nice piece of black leather, and cut a piece off and took it and had the Honda embroidered on that piece, and then took it to the upholsterer and had him do the diamond pattern. Aftermarket turn signals. The bike is very clean. I've kept the chain lubed. Another one of James' little tricks was he put the seat release underneath the tank right here. And if we take the seat off, you can see how nice and clean everything is. This module here is connected to the rear brake light, so when you engage the brake handle or the foot brake, the tail light blinks rapidly. I want to do a close-up of the engine so that you can see how clean it is. No leaks, no drips. It's just a beautiful piece of machinery. 5-speed gearbox. It shows 12,629 miles, but true mileage is unknown. But it probably has somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,500 to 2,000 miles on a rebuilt engine. And so that concludes our tour, our inspection. Thank you for your time, and hope you enjoyed my video.